Everyone agrees that education is the most important investment. It's a great investment for any nation, and in particular, it is very important for the individual who gets the benefit of the education. Yet, education is becoming more and more expensive in every part of the world. It is particularly very expensive in poor and developing countries like Pakistan and like backward areas of Pakistan, in Sindh, in Balochistan, in frontier, and even in poor areas of Punjab. Now, why is it such a problem? When I was growing up in Shikarpur and Ladkana, at least good students got scholarships. Now it is not happening. I remember that when I was completing my third grade in Sindhi school, there were tests for scholarships. And those of us who passed, we got 6 rupees a month scholarship. If we were good students and yet our parents could afford it. But those who were really poor got 8 rupees. This was sufficient in those days to cover any fees which it existed, and it also provided enough money to buy books. Then, when I was in seventh grade, which was third standard in English, there was another scholarship exam. And those of us who passed it got 8 or 12 rupees a month, depending on income level of our family. Even for middle class families like ourselves, it was a big help. Again, it paid fees, it provided for books, and even it left some money for occasional sweetmeats. But it is no more. The result is that the poor kids are basically dropping out of the quality education. Yes, in those days, it was not only scholarships, but the education level in primary and secondary schools, like the ones that I attended. I attended Memon Mohalla School in Shikarpur for my Sindhi education and Government High School Ladkana for my secondary education. The education was quality. We were able to study every subject. I remember in matriculation examination, or which is like 11th grade examination, all the questions I answered were in English. We had a choice either to answer in our own native language or in English. And I was able to answer in English like many others did. But now it has become unimaginable for people, for students in government schools to do so. The result is that those who can afford it are going in private schools and paying very large fees, and those who cannot are basically getting inadequate education. Accordingly, I feel that we must provide assistance to those who cannot afford, those who cannot even go to the regular government schools. The fees has gone up and there is no scholarships. About 2 years ago, I had consulted some friends, uh, knowledgeable friends, about what should be the amount given in scholarships for needy students in government-owned schools. And consensus was that 600 rupees a month, which amounts to less than $10, about $8 a month will be sufficient to educate a child in elementary school. About 800 rupees or about $9.50 will be sufficient to educate in secondary school, and about 1200 to 1500, or in other words, $15 to $20 a month will be sufficient for education in government colleges. Based on that, about 2 years ago, I set up a goal of 100,000 scholarships for needy students. Now that is a huge number, but we are talking to and we are dealing with a huge country. And I'm talking to friends like yourselves who can afford to do that. And I'm not asking you to give your money to me or any organized scholarship fund or charity. I'm asking you to please give it yourself or through any organization to anyone you like. I know that everyone has some relatives, some own younger brother, some cousins, some second cousins, some people in own village or town who are known to you who need this kind of assistance. Please give it to them. There is no need even to be counted. I just want that as much money should go into the scholarships as possible. Please think about this. This is the best charity you can give. This is a continued charity which will continue while we are alive or we are dead. But this is a charity which needs to be given for betterment of our people. Of course, my wish has always been to persuade the government to give more and more allocation to education, give more and more for scholarships. This way, not just 100,000, but maybe tens of millions of students can get the scholarships. But we must work on this in parallel with individual giving. Unfortunately, we have not succeeded in persuading our governments to move from wasteful expenses and corruption and really do more for education and scholarships. So we cannot wait for them forever. In the meantime, we must individually do what we can. And inshallah, we must also continue in parallel in persuading and even putting pressure on the government so that they give more. And what they give is given on genuine basis to those who really need it. God bless you. Please help me reach goal of 100,000 scholarships for poor students in Pakistan. Thank you.